Book 01, The Calm Online Virtual Employee, Nervous System Stability Before Productivity, can be understood as the foundational doctrine of the entire online virtual employee cultivating system because it teaches that sustainable professional excellence begins not with speed, performance, achievement, algorithms, or efficiency, but with the ethical regulation of the human nervous system. The central thesis of the book is that most modern digital suffering, burnout, emotional reactivity, distraction, chronic anxiety, overwork, people-pleasing, loneliness, exhaustion, technological overwhelm, and loss of meaning emerges when productivity is pursued without nervous system stability. Therefore, the first responsibility of an ethical online or virtual employee is not maximum output, but sustainable inner regulation that protects dignity, clarity, compassion, lawful responsibility, and long-term human flourishing. The book introduces the foundational doctrine that regulation precedes performance, peace precedes productivity, and nervous system stability precedes sustainable success. From a scientific perspective, the nervous system functions as the biological infrastructure of cognition, decision-making, emotional regulation, memory, attention, ethics, communication, and professional competence. When dysregulated, a person becomes vulnerable to impulsive communication, emotional exhaustion, panic-driven urgency, technological addiction, shame-based overworking, poor boundaries, distorted thinking, and ethical compromise. When regulated, the same individual gains increased cognitive flexibility, emotional resilience, attentional clarity, patience, better sleep, ethical discernment, healthier relationships, and sustainable professional consistency. This book reframes online work not as a race for productivity, but as an embodied cultivation practice grounded in human dignity. A calm online employee learns that a sustainable livelihood emerges from consistency rather than intensity, clarity rather than chaos, and rhythm rather than force. Instead of glorifying exhaustion, the book proposes an ethical model of digital professionalism in which sleep, breathing, pauses, hydration, movement, emotional honesty, recovery, reflective thinking, lawful boundaries, and compassionate communication become forms of professional discipline rather than signs of weakness. In this framework, self-regulation becomes an ethical responsibility because dysregulated people unintentionally spread confusion, urgency, harm, emotional contagion, and instability to colleagues, teams, clients, and communities. The book further argues that attention is biological before it is technological. Before productivity tools, calendars, task systems, artificial intelligence, or workplace optimization can be effective, the human organism itself must feel safe enough to focus. Sustainable attention emerges when the nervous system experiences regulation, safety, rhythm, predictability, and recovery. Therefore, the calm online employee develops daily rituals that stabilize body and mind, sufficient sleep, slow breathing, posture awareness, structured transitions into work, realistic workloads, periodic breaks, hydration, sunlight exposure, emotional check-ins, mindful pauses, and intentional endings to the workday. Productivity is therefore treated as an emergent property of regulation rather than something obtained through self-aggression. Book 01 also teaches a doctoral-level ethical principle for KOLs and future leaders. Calmness is not passivity. Calmness is advanced self-governance. The online professional who remains regulated under pressure develops greater reliability, trustworthiness, wisdom, and discernment. Rather than reacting impulsively to email, deadlines, criticism, workplace tension, digital overload, or social comparison, the regulated professional pauses, breathes, reflects, regulates, understands, and then acts wisely. This aligns with a higher form of leadership in which emotional maturity becomes professional competence and nervous system stability becomes social responsibility. The book reframes work itself as part of a broader ecology of human flourishing. Income is no longer understood as merely economic survival, but as a lawful, ethical, sustainable way of serving life while preserving psychological dignity and nervous system integrity. In this model, meaningful work should support health rather than destroy it, deepen presence rather than fragmentation, strengthen ethical maturity rather than compulsive striving, and help individuals contribute to families, communities, scholarship, and society without abandoning themselves in the process. Sustainable work therefore becomes a form of peaceful participation in life rather than self-sacrifice through endless performance. For KOLs, Book '01 teaches that people are rarely inspired by speed alone. They are inspired by regulated presence. A leader who speaks calmly, works sustainably, communicates clearly, honors boundaries, embodies ethical steadiness, and remains emotionally grounded under uncertainty naturally becomes trustworthy. Thus, personal nervous system regulation becomes public influence. The deepest authority of a future educator, writer, adjunct instructor, ethical AI scholar, or online professional does not come from appearing superior, but from embodying sustainable clarity, humility, truthfulness, and calm ethical presence. Ultimately, Book '01 teaches a single cultivating truth to learn by heart and embody daily. A calm nervous system is not separate from success. It is the foundation of ethical success. Peace is productivity protected. Regulation is leadership embodied. Sustainable nervous system stability is the first form of wisdom, the first form of professionalism, and the first act of compassion toward oneself and others.